Hi students, now I'm going to discuss about the introduction to programming languages. So before going to the programming languages, you should know what is meant by program. Program is nothing but a set of instructions. If you take one example, obviously programmers create programs simply by writing code and that instructs the computer what to do and it will execute it on special software designed for it such as Turbo C for executing C program. And next move on to what is meant by programming. Programming. Programming is nothing but the process of writing a program is called programming. Next move on to what is meant by programming language. Programming language is nothing but set of rules that provides a way of telling a computer what operation to perform. Next, if you see a programming language is nothing but it is a notational system for describing computation either in machine readable and also human readable form. So you know that in English language, we can call it as a natural language because it has words, symbols, and grammatical rules. Similarly, if you take a programming language, it also having words, symbols, and rules of grammar. This rules of grammar is known as syntax in programming language. The first programming language is developed in the year 1950. Since then, thousands of languages have been developed because different programming languages are designed for different types of programs. Now, if you see here, the different programming languages are designed for different types of applications. If you see the broad classification of computer languages, we can classify this as the first one is low level language, the second one is middle level language, the third one is high level language. Low level language can also be called as machine language. Here, to create instructions, we are using ones and zeros combinations, and that is the reason we can call it as a binary language. The second one is a middle level language. This can also be called as assembly language. In the assembly language, to create instructions, we use mnemonics. You use mnemonics, and that is the reason we can call it as assembly language. Come to the third language, that is called high level language. This can also be called as human language. So the examples of human language is nothing but COBOL, Fortran, BASIC, C, C++, and Java. The next, if you see in details of these languages, the first one is middle level language. In the middle level language, instructions are created using symbols like letters, digits, and also the special characters. Assembly language is an example of middle level language. So in assembly language, we use the predefined words called mnemonics. Next, move on to here, the low level language. This is only language which can understood by the computer. So low level language is also known as machine language. In the machine language, we contains only two symbols, that is 1 and 0. Next, move on to the high level language is a computer language which can be understood by the users. The high level language is very similar to human language and has a set of grammar rules that can be used to make instructions more easily. If you see the examples of these three programming languages, for the low level language, the examples are C, C++, Rust, Go, Haskell, and Ada. So if you see, the C is nothing but it is a general purpose language, provides low level memory management and also direct access to the hardware. Come to the C++ is nothing but it is an extension of C, and that adds object oriented programming features. Come to the Rust. It is a system programming language that prioritizes safety and performance. Come to the Go language developed by the Google that provides low level memory management and concurrency features. And Pascal is a language that provides low level memory management and it is often used for systems programming. Ada is a language developed for embedded systems and real time applications. If you see the characteristics of this low level language, it is direct memory access, pointer arithmetic, and low level memory management, direct hardware access, permanent critical code. Performance critical code. The next one is high level examples. There is Python, Java, JavaScript, C hash, Ruby, Swift, PHP, and Visual Basics, that is .NET. And if you see, Python is nothing but it is a popular language for web development, data analysis, and also the machine learning. And the next example is Java is nothing but an object-oriented language for Android app development, web development, and enterprise software. JavaScript is nothing but a language for client-side scripting in web browsers and server-side programming with Node.js. C hash is a modern object-oriented language for Windows and web application development. Ruby is a dynamic language for web development, and this is known for its simplicity and ease of use. Shift is a modern language for iOS and Mac OS app development. And PHP is nothing but a server side language for web development, especially for building dynamic websites. The next one is a modern object-oriented language for Windows and for web application development. Come see the characteristics of high-level language. It includes easy to learn syntax, high-level abstractions, memory management handled by the language. Next, object-oriented programming support, large standard libraries and frameworks, and platform independence. Come to the examples here, can have the pictorial representation of these three languages. If you see the machine language, I said you it's a combination of zeros and ones. You can see in program. That is the reason we call it as a machine language. And here in assembly language, we are using predefined words called mnemonics. So these are all the mnemonics. And come to the high level language. In this, we can go with either writing C or C++ programs like this. The principal paradigms. So these nothing but it's a different ways or styles in which a given program or programming language can be organized. The first one is imperative programming, where we can see C, Fortran, Basic. Procedure oriented programming, we can have example C and Pascal. Object oriented programming, we can have examples Java and Python. Logical programming, so that is an example for Prolog. And if you see the traditional programming languages, we are having traditionally, if you see, we are having the first one is Fortran. The Fortran is extracted from formula translation. If you take the first three letters, and here if we take the first four letters, that we can have this Fortran. This is developed by IBM in the mid 1950s, designed for scientific and mathematical applications. Come to the COBOL. This COBOL is also one of the traditional programming language extracted from common business oriented language developed in the year 1959, and this is used for to develop business applications. Next, move on to here. The next traditional programming language called BASIC. This is extracted from beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code developed by Dartmouth College in mid 1960s that has been written by the students of this college to interact with the terminals. If you see the depth of this C programming language, it is a general purpose, simple, procedural programming language initially developed by Dennis Ritchie in the year 1972. It was mainly developed as a system programming language to write an operating system that is called Unix is written in C. This was designed by Dennis Ritchie for use with Unix on DEC PDF11 computers. So the language evolved from Martin Richards' VCPL, and one of its earlier form was P language. The first book on C was The C Programming Language by Brian Kringen and Dennis Ritchie, published in the year 1978. In 1983, the American National Standards Institute, that is ANSI, established a committee to standardize the definition of C. Now, the resultant standard is known as ANSI C, and this is recognized standard for the language and grammar and the core set of libraries. There is also an ISO, International Standards Organization, stands standards that is very similar to the ANSI standards. It appears that there will be yet another ANSI standards officially dated in the year 1999, or I can say early 2000 years. It is currently known as C9X. And if you see the features of C program, so here I have provided a few features of C. It's very simple, machine independent and portable, structured programming language, a rich library, memory management, fast speed, pointers, recursion, extensible. Simple. The first feature is simple. This is a simple language in the sense it provides a structured approach where we can see to break the problem into parts. And it is a rich set of library functions and data types, etc. The next feature is machine independent or portable. Unlike assembly language, C program can be executed on different machines with some machine specific changes. The next feature is structured programming language. C is a structured programming language in the sense that we can break the program into parts using functions. So it is very easy to understand and modify. Functions also provided code reusability. The next feature is a rich library. So where C provides a lot of inbuilt functions that makes the development fast. The next feature is memory management. It supports the feature of dynamic memory allocation. In C language, we can free the allocated memory at any time by calling the free function. Next is the fast speed. At the time of the compilation and execution, the time of the C language becomes very fast. Come to the pointers. So C provides the feature of the pointers can directly interact with the memory by using the pointers. The next feature is recursion. So in C, we can call the function within the function, which provides the reusability for every function. The last but not least feature is extensible. C language is extensible because it can easily adopt new features. Thank you.